Whether you're gaming with mates in person or jumping online with your squad, mobile gaming has come leaps and bounds in recent years, with tons of amazing options to sink your teeth into. With thousands of quality games to choose from, it can be tough pinpointing what to try next. So, to help you find your next gaming quest, we've compiled a list of 10 of our favorite multiplayer mobile games to play in 2021. But before we continue with this video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It will be really appreciated. With that being said though, let's get into the video. Starting off at number 10, we have Pico Tanks. Pico Tanks is a multiplayer action strategy game in which two teams of 3 tanks face off in exciting 2-minute battles. Depending on the game, you might have to capture the flag, transport cargo to your base, or simply kill as many enemies as possible. In between battles, you can unlock new tanks or personalize tanks you already have. Although you'll start with the game with just one blue tank, you can unlock all kinds of additional tanks, parts, and colors as you win battles and level up. Overall, this is an excellent multiplayer action game that offers exciting 2-minute games, fantastic graphics, and all kinds of game modes, tanks, weapons, and maps to choose from. Moving on to number 9, we have Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact isn't your typical multiplayer game. To unlock the multiplayer experience, you should play and reach Adventure Rank 16. After you reach this stage, you can play the game with 3 other friends. This free-to-play RPG is set in an open world with great graphics. One feature that sets Genshin Impact apart is the fact that you can play the game with other players across PS4, Android, iOS, and PC. Without a doubt, being able to fight with 3 other friends makes the games even more intriguing. It doesn't matter which console or mobile device each of the players is connecting with. The important thing is to join forces to defeat each monster and emerge victorious upon completing each mission. Coming in at number 8, we have Suspects. Suspects is a game that's similar to Among Us, but with better graphics. Trust no one in this 10-player murder mystery game. In it, you're invited to a mansion where you'll have to complete different tasks. The problem is that one of the 9 guests is a killer. Each one of the objectives you have to complete within the mansion is associated with a mini-game. In some, you have to light a candelabra, in others, you have to find a book or straighten a frame, and in others, you'll have to unclog pipes. The most important thing is that the killer doesn't catch you off guard while you're trying to complete your tasks. Next up at number 7, we have Tom and Jerry Chase. This is a multiplayer game where 4 mice have to face off one-on-one against a cat in a huge house loaded with traps. The goal of the cat, of course, is to hunt down the 4 mice, while the goal of the mice is to thwart the kitty's plans and survive for as long as they can, meanwhile wreaking havoc on the house. During the first 30 seconds, mice roam freely to take a look at the house safely, using mouse-shaped robots. After these first few moments, mayhem ensues. The player who is controlling the cat will have 10 minutes to catch the 4 mice and tie them to a rocket. If they actually manage to tie a mouse to a rocket, the others will have to try and rescue him. This one's fun. You should try it. Down to number 6, we have WW2 Battle Combat. Now this is a multiplayer shooter set in World War II. Here, 2 teams of up to 5 players each can face off in enormous settings, many of them being recreations of important historic events and battles. At first, you'll only have the classic Team Deathmatch mode unlocked. However, as you play and level up, you'll be able to unlock 5 more game modes, including Arms Race and Knives Only, just to name a few. At the beginning of the game, you can choose between the 4 big participants in World War II, USSR, the USA, Japan, and Germany. You have to choose one nation for when you play on the Allied side and another one for when you play on the Axis side. Moving on to number 5, we have Smash Legends. Smash Legends is a 3D action game that lets you fight in exciting 3v3 battles that last a maximum of 3 minutes. In the game, it's not about inflicting the most damage on your enemies, but about eliminating them from the battle. But of course, the more damage you do, the further away they will fly when you hit them. That's why, although striking your opponents is always useful, you should try to deploy some strategy to remove them from the battlefield with as little effort as possible. In Smash Legends, you have a variety of different game modes like Domination and the classic Deathmatch. Next up at number 4, we have Modern Assault Tanks. This is an action-based multiplayer game where you can command some of the most famous World War II tanks. Your aim? To destroy your enemies before they destroy you. The gameplay is very similar to the World of Tanks. Several players fight in teams in large open scenarios while trying to capture strategic areas and kill as many enemies as possible. You'll find more than 100 different tanks that belong to different belligerents of World War II. Each has its own unique aspects and, of course, its own attributes. You can also upgrade your tank's technology as you play.
Now that.
Coming in at number 3, we have Astracraft. Astracraft is an action game that challenges you to create and customize robots in order to defeat other players on distant planets. Yep, you get to modify your robots with over 200 different modules. But you can also merge your robot with other more highly advanced robots that are fighting by your side. The customizing limit exists only in your imagination because you can adapt your robot at any moment using the different pieces in your inventory. This is a really unique multiplayer in which your main goal isn't just to get rid of your rivals, but you also have to collect as many modules as you can. This incredible game includes several gaming modes, and the visuals are excellent. Next up at number 2, we have Modern Warships. Modern Warships is a sea battle game where you have to wage exciting battles at the helm of a warship. With realistic 3D graphics, you navigate the seas in search of enemies. Fire all the missiles at your disposal to eliminate your naval rival. In this game, you form part of a team with 2 other boats. This means you can team up with your friends to destroy enemy boats. To control your boat, you have arrows where you can manage the speed and direction you're moving. What's more, you can find enemies on the GPS map at the bottom left of the screen at any time. Something else to bear in mind with Modern Warships is that as you win more battles, you can unlock new boats. And finally, at number 1, we have Flash Party. Do you like fighting? If so, Flash Party is the game for you. This free-to-play fighting platformer lets you face off against up to 4 foes from around the globe, garnering glory as you kick ass and take names. In each fight, you try to reduce your opponent's power to defeat them. After selecting the character you're going to use to get in on the action, you move on to the battle arena. You have to bear in mind that you can combine various attacks at the same time to create awesome combos. Time is not always on your side, and that's why you have to pay attention to the time remaining before the end of the fight. This is another game you have to try today if you haven't yet. And that's everything we've got for you today. If you're